Spoke crazy.
I started cutting myself. The first time I did it was when I was walking out the door with a knife. My daughter figured out what was going on from the cuts on my hands. She found a razor blade on my bed and hid it from me.
No child should have to do that. She has also said that she's killing herself and she's not going out alone. I'm afraid. I mean, Jen's threatened to kill me. A few months ago, Jennifer sat in the driveway with the children in the house just feet away, cutting herself in the neck. And the cops had to come take Jen out of the house forcibly, and they took her to a hospital.
It was relieving pain, and I don't know how, but it did.
I didn't know what Jennifer was going to do next. For the safety of my children and myself, I went and got a protection order.
When I found out about the protection order, I was really upset. I started screaming. Because of the protection order, I can only communicate with Jamie by text. I can't talk to him. I can't email him. Texting is the only communication I have with him. I'm not even allowed in my own home.
She's still allowed to see the children, just not in the house.
Right now, I don't have my family. I don't have my house. And my kids are gone. I have lost everything.
Now, somebody here is not telling the truth. Is this man lying and manipulating?
He's greatly exaggerating.
Is there a problem?
There is a problem.
I mean, are you an inappropriate parent?
I go overboard sometimes. I don't believe I'm abusive. I have a temper. A lot of what he said while standing back there, it's astonishing.
Is this woman a danger to the children?
Mentally, yes, she is.
Are you exaggerating? Are you blowing this out of proportion?
I wish I were Dr. Phil. I'm not. I didn't
She says it's astonishing what she's hearing about. It's just astonished at what you're saying.
Oh, I'm astonished at her failure to realize any of this. That's what astonishes me.
Well, let's talk about what you agree about.
Okay.
Okay, you agree that you're strict. In fact, I wrote down in quotes, you said you're strict because your kids are, quote, not good kids.
I don't mean it like they're not good kids. They're not the best kids when it comes to behaving. I mean, they do a lot of bad things. They don't do what they're supposed to do. They don't do homework. They don't do their dishes. Their rooms are so bad. I have to hear from my son right now that my daughter's sleeping on the couch because she can't get to her bed, or her bed is so piled with stuff.
Well, let's talk about your daughter. You admit that you've told your daughter that she lies, cheats, and thinks like a loser criminal.
I tell her that if she keeps up the way she is going to be a criminal, or she's going to be a loser in life if she doesn't do what she's supposed to do. I mean, criminals lie, they cheat, they steal. My daughter lies and cheats and does whatever she can to get what she needs, what she wants. And it's the absolute truth.
Okay, and you say there was an incident about breakfast and French toast. You said you admit you made her finish her French toast, and she missed the school bus, and you made her cry.
She didn't miss the school bus.
What?
She didn't miss the school bus.
Well, this is what you admitted to us.
I said she was crying because she thought she was going to miss the school bus. She was taking 6 French toast sticks. I know my daughter will not eat 6 French toast sticks. I told her several times not to take them. I told her to take 2. I insisted that she put some back. She would not. So she ate 1.5 and said she was done. I said, you're not done. I said, you have to eat those. He tells the story that she was crouching in the corner, crying, covering her head, and I was standing over there shoving French toast sticks down her throat.
Now, I remember my daughter crying and me saying, let her go to school. Why send her to school in that state over food? It's 45 cents worth of food. Toss it, send her to school with a smile, discuss it when she gets home.
Well, let's talk about what he says that goes beyond this, because he says, and look, I'm trying to find out what's going on here because somebody's not telling the truth here. He says you are verbally and mentally abusive to your children. True or false?
False.
He says you wake the kids up at night to fix their chores, that you'll go in there at midnight and get them up to fix their chores.
That's what my mom did to me, actually. That story is something my mom did to me.
But you don't do that. You've not gone and gotten the children awake, in bed asleep, gotten them awake to get up and redo something.
They had just gone to bed. They were not asleep. I said, come out and pick this up.
Did you throw your daughter's things outside in the rain?
I did not throw it, and it was not raining at the time. When her room was a mess, I gave her extra time. She and I together loaded up her stuff into the clothes basket and took it outside. And then she put it back individually. It did rain one day, and all that was out there was like cards and stuff.
Look, one of you's not telling me the truth here. Because you're saying she's throwing this stuff out in the rain. You say she goes into the kids' rooms at night. She'll throw things all over the room. She tears apart their bedding.
Yes.
What do you mean tears apart the bedding?
Exactly that. Take the sheets. We have to do this. Come on, your rooms are a wreck. And just like that. I mean, how many ways are there to tear apart bedding?
I don't know. I've never had anybody tear apart my bedding. Are you saying she goes in and rips the sheets off the bed?
Yes.
I said sheets that aren't on the bed. I tell my kids they have to make their beds. They are how old? 12 and 14. I could make a bed at 5 years old. I said, go make your bed. I go in there, everything's shoved underneath the blanket, like I can't tell, and there's a big pile in the middle of the bed. I don't scream. I say, come on, really, really, this is making your bed? I'll pull everything off, and I'll say, now make your bed.
Do you yell and scream at the top of your lungs, out of control, as though someone has died?
I yell and scream, I do. I wouldn't say at the top of my lungs.
Do you lose control?
I lose control.
Okay. All right, next we're going to talk about the day Jamie says he caught Jennifer with a knife.
Jen started cutting herself. She would do this with the kids in the house.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil.
I remember sitting between his legs.
One of Bill Cosby's youngest accusers.
Is coming forward for the first time.
He gave me a drink, and I don't remember anything after that.
As Cosby's family speaks out.
Camille Cosby, shame on you.
7 accusers together for the first time.
I was naked and bruised.
And their shocking allegations.
She took away my innocence.
That's tomorrow.
When we were younger, Jennifer cheated on me with my best friend, and I stayed against my better judgment. About 3 years ago, Jennifer bumped into her ex-boyfriend. She was so excited, I was convinced she found Jimmy Hoffa's body.
I hid it from Jamie because I didn't want to hurt his feelings.
I'd wake up at 4:30 in the morning, and she'd be texting him. I knew almost immediately she was seeing him, and I would confront her. She would later try to justify the affair by not calling it an affair. She would say, well, we're separated, so it's technically not cheating.
Jamie says that I was cheating on him, but we were separated.
The fact of the matter is, we were never separated. I met my girlfriend at the end of last year. When she found out I had a girlfriend, Jennifer yelled and screamed, who is this bitch? How dare you? I can't believe you would do this to us.
The fact that Jamie got a girlfriend broke my heart.
Jennifer hates my girlfriend. Jennifer has told me that my girlfriend will not make it to her next birthday. And if for some reason she does, her face will be unrecognizable. I would like Jennifer to realize that our marriage is over, and don't worry about my girlfriend. You've got a life and 2 kids that need all your attention. My girlfriend does not need your attention.
Well, did you threaten to kill his girlfriend?
I did.
Did you threaten to carve her? Did you threaten to carve her face up?
I did not.
You did not.
No, I did say she's not going to make it to her next birthday. I have called her ugly. She's way too young for him. My son's closer to her age. My daughter's closer to her age. And like I said, I would understand if she was, you know, some hot chick. She's not.
Did you have 2 flings, affairs?
I had one when I was younger, yes, and I don't consider the second one an affair.
Did you have a sexual relationship with him recently?
I did.
Jennifer admits to some disturbing and dangerous behavior. She says she started cutting herself when she found out Jamie had a girlfriend this past Easter. Take a look.
When I cut myself on my hand, on the side of my wrist, top of my legs, behind my hair on my neck, and around the back of my ears. I picked places where people weren't going to see after everybody started asking about my hand. I was cutting myself to relieve the pain. When I was cutting myself, I was afraid that I might die. I was afraid of leaving the kids alone without a mom.
I look at this picture. Who took this picture?
Jamie takes pictures of me all the time to make fun of me. That picture, I did not do anything to myself. I was walking out the door with that knife. He told me to make sure I cut this way, because that's the way you do it when you're going to commit suicide. That's the way to die. And that was the first day I cut myself. That was the first day.
What do you think when you look at this picture?
I don't like that picture. I never cut myself with the kids in the house either. I did it in the car. I even bought a black towel to clean it up.
How thoughtful. The kids were 15 feet away in the living
not
room.
then.
And this
Not
picture,
then.
they were in their bedrooms 15
They were,
feet away.
and I hid the knife every
and every
time they
time you
walked
heard a
out.
noise, he tried to hide the knife. Again, how thoughtful.
He told me to go kill myself, basically. Make sure you do it this way.
Did you say that to her?
I did. Yes, I did.
How thoughtful.
That's exactly my thought.
I think you are in a lot of pain. And I want to help you.
The story's hard.
It's all right. Give your feelings a voice. That's what you're here to do. Just talk through the tears. It's okay.
I told him I needed to come home, I said I can't let the kids see me this way. He told me to put them in their rooms and go in the bedroom and rest. And I said, they're already in my room watching TV. I'm going to go out to the car. He said he was 2 hours away. I sat in the car waiting for him for 2 hours. He knew, and the more I waited, the worse it got. The kids did not come out. It was behind my hair. I put a hoodie on when I went to check on them. I know it wasn't the best thing to do. I know.
You're sitting in the car and you're lifting your hair up and putting a knife back there and cutting yourself. Was it this knife?
No, that left a big scar.
You have cut yourself here?
Right here. After he did not come home and I dropped the kids off, I cut myself here.
Why are you doing this?
I don't know. It really, the
No,
sight of the
you do
blood.
know. What do
The
you...
sight of the blood relieves it when you're crying for some reason. It just, I have no idea why I started it. I think I started it because I think I'll show him. He's telling me, you know, go and cut yourself. So I did.
Are you suicidal?
Not at this moment.
Have you been suicidal? Do you believe that you suffer from mental illness?
But that exact day, he didn't call back. 15 hours later, he came back after he was supposed to be there for 2 hours. And this is what I got on the phone. I filed a restraining order. I filed for divorce. You need to get out. In that state of mind, that's what he did.
Did you say, I'll be there in 2 hours?
I did. I did lie to her and tell her I was on my way.
And then you showed up 15 hours later?
It was the next morning or afternoon, yes.
Did she call you and tell you she was in distress?
Yes.
And you said, I'll be there in 2 hours, and you didn't show up for 15. Did you call someone? Did you call 911? Did you call the sheriff? Did you call the ambulance? Did you call anyone?
No, I don't believe so.
Did you not go home because you thought if I don't, maybe she'll finish the job and I'll be done?
The phone call she gave me is a carbon copy of 100 other conversations we had. Again, the boy who cries wolf.
She was there with your children. She says, I'm in distress. She's telling you this, and she's there with the children.
She's been in distress for 24 years, Dr. Phil.
The children were there.
That's the morning I went to the courthouse to take her out of the situation.
Jennifer's sister is here, actually to support Jamie and not her own flesh and blood. We're going to find out why when we come back.
I constantly defend Jamie to Jennifer.
I resent my sister for talking to Jamie.
Jennifer's very uptight, snobbish. She's judgmental. Jennifer's made bad choices.
I'm Maurice DuBois.
Jennifer will take the most mundane situation and turn it into an argument. Everything is a fight. Jesus himself could come down and say, Jennifer, you're wrong and Jamie's right. Jen would say, no way, Jesus, I'm right.
That was Jamie talking about what he calls his wife Jennifer's insatiable desire to yell and argue with everyone, including their 14 and 12-year-old children. In fact, he has dubbed her Mommy Dearest, Mega Bitch, and Psycho.
Nice.
Jennifer says her estranged husband is a hypocrite. Says he does much of the same things that she does. He's abandoned her and tried to commit her 3 times to a psych ward. Now, Jennifer's sister Mary says she supports her brother-in-law's decision to divorce her sister, who she believes is a tyrant who needs serious help.
Jennifer is my younger sister.
Jen's own family thinks she's crazy and needs help.
Jamie did the right thing. The protective order was justified. Jamie has the children's best interest.
When I think about the fact that my own sister sides with Jamie, it's upsetting.
I constantly defend Jamie to Jennifer. He has a side, you have a side, I have a side.
He has a girlfriend, and that changed the way he viewed things.
I understand you don't agree with his actions.
No, Mary, I told you 4 months before. I said, what's going on? He said, there's nothing going on. I resent my sister for talking to Jamie instead of him coming and talking to me.
Jennifer's very uptight, snobbish. She's judgmental. Jennifer has made bad choices, and now she does not like the consequences of her actions.
So, Mary, you said she's judgmental. You think she's out of control?
I think she's gotten that way, yes.
And why do you think that is?
We could have had better parenting. I believe she repeats a lot of the behavior she was raised with.
The behavior that both of you were subjected to was atrocious. We'll have a statement from y'all's mother. I am not as bad as parent as Mary and Jennifer make me out to be. I did a lot of screaming and smacked them a bit, but that was only when they disobeyed and talked back to me. My kids always convinced everyone I was a bad mother. They've thought this way since they were teens. We invited Betty to be here, but she declined, so that's her statement.
My mom always had an excuse for what she did, and she apologized to me for all this stuff before, and I told her, I don't know what to say to that.
But didn't you make excuses for everything when we started talking?
I don't beat on my kids like that.
I agree with that.
She beat me with a wooden spoon until it broke.
Some of us pick up, dust ourselves off, and move on. Others can't.
What do you want people to do? What do you want people to do when you text somebody or call somebody or say to somebody, I want to kill myself, I got a knife, I'm going, goodbye, I'm done, I'm out of here, adios. What do you want people to do? What are they supposed to do? Because I got to tell you, I'm not in private practice anymore, so don't call me. But, you know, I had a rule with patients. You threaten to hurt yourself with me, I'm taking you out of the game. You're going in.
I went in.
And if I made a deal with somebody that says, okay, I'm talking to you on Monday, I'm going to see you on Thursday. We got a deal. You're not going to try to hurt yourself between now and Thursday. If I got a call Wednesday with some family member say they're threatening suicide, they're going in. It's just that simple. If you want to play that game, you're going in. You criticized him for trying to commit you to psych wards on 3 different occasions. It sounds to me like that may be exactly where you've needed to be on more than 3 occasions.
And I have been.
Which is not, I mean, that's not a mean thing to do. I mean, we've heard what the lay people have said, and I've looked at some of your records about what you said to the professionals. Looking at your discharge summary, reason for admission, you made a statement. I don't know when I'm going to kill myself, but sooner or later I will overdose on pills or cut my throat. Now, that's what you said. They went on and said, patient with significant mood instability, dysphoric mood, prior suicidal behavior by cutting wrists, neck, legs, patient reporting frequent panic attacks with poor focus and concentration. I mean, it goes on and on. So the professionals are observing instability.
I don't want to be locked up because I don't think it helps. I've been there and it doesn't help.
You'll just go sit in the driveway and cut your neck with a knife.
I don't need somebody to tell me how to fix it sometimes. Sometimes I just want somebody to hold my hand.
Jamie says his 12-year-old daughter and 14-year-old son have a message for their mother. We'll hear it when we come back.
The children have told me that Jen sits around crying how her life's over and she misses them.
I want my kids to live with me, and I want them to be happy.
Closed captioning provided by... Now, Jamie and Jennifer have two children, a 14-year-old boy and a 12-year-old girl, who are caught in the middle of this tug-of-war.
The kids spend nearly every weekend cooped up at their grandfather's house, one of the places Jennifer stays. The children have told me that Jen sits around crying how her life's over and she misses them and Daddy ruined my life. And she'll disappear for an entire Saturday to go see her boyfriend. She doesn't really seem to want her kids.
I want my kids to live with me, and I want them to be happy.
I like living with my dad, and I don't mind going to see my mom, but I don't like my mom getting upset because sometimes she would be crying, and when I see her cry, I cry.
I think Jen uses the kids as pawns. That's her way of just trying to manipulate them into being mad at me. Jen doesn't deserve them. The kids seem to be doing very well in Jennifer's absence. They're doing better in school, their chores. Things are going very well, and this does not make Jen very happy.
Okay, what are y'all talking about?
I just said that I would have preferred to sit next to her.
Would you like to sit next to her?
Would like to.
Got it? I'll get it. I'll get it. I want company, moving furniture.
I'll find it. I just, my
I'll help
ankle.
you.
My one ankle is just big.
Got it?
A little shorter than I am.
Why did you choose to move?
I know she feels everybody's against her. And she feels ganged up on. And I am on her side. I'm on the kid's side.
Do you feel ganged up on?
I do.
Is this relationship over?
I don't like this person that I see in front of me right now. I don't like who he's turned into. I don't turn the kids against him.
You want a divorce?
Absolutely.
This is over.
This is as over as marriages get.
And do you accept that reality?
I accept that there's a divorce that's going to happen. I have always said that in a perfect world, if I could have a perfect family, I would. But right now, I don't want Jamie back. I don't want this Jamie.
I want you to tell me where you honestly predict you're going to be a year from now. We'll be right back.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil.
I remember sitting between his legs.
One of Bill Cosby's youngest accusers.
Is coming forward for the first time.
He gave me a drink, and I don't remember anything after that.
As Cosby's family speaks out.
Camille Cosby, shame on you.
7 accusers together for the first time.
I was naked and bruised.
And their shocking allegations.
She took away my innocence.
That's tomorrow.
Closed captioning provides...
Jennifer has said things like, I want my house back. I want to sleep in my bed. I have to constantly remind her there is no our anymore. There's no us. Why does she want all this when everything was so miserable and dreadful? It's like a dog who gets abused, wanting to stay with its master. The dog should run away while it has the chance.
Before we went to break, I asked you to honestly predict for yourself where you will be a year from now.
I have said that I'm not going to make it another year.
You think you're going to be dead a year from now?
I think I'm going to be somewhere that's not... I think if I lose the house and the kids, I mean, I don't know where I'm going to be.
There's a dynamic going on here that bothers me greatly. I get that you don't like her behavior, but I don't get the lack of compassion and the lack of graciousness and the lack of understanding. Some of the things that you do are not right and they're indefensible. And there's a reason that you do those things. And you tend to be non-compliant with those that try to help you. This is Areva Martin right here, by the way. She is an attorney and a child advocate, and she has studied up on this case. She's been listening here during this show. And while the behavior that you have either admitted to or are accused of is certainly not acceptable, this is a woman that would tell you and help you and advocate for you to get yourself right to be in your children's lives. Areva?
Absolutely, Dr. Phil. Everything I've heard, I'm so glad you talked about the compassion that you need. But courts aren't going to be compassionate. When you go before the court and you ask for 50% custody and say you don't know where you're going to be in a year, courts aren't going to give kids to a parent that can't provide stability for those kids. So you've got to get the help that Dr. Phil was talking about so that you can be stable, so that you can go into court and make a case for why you should have 50% custody of your kids. And if you don't do that, the courts are going to give 100% custody of your kids to your husband, and that's not going to make you happy.
It was always the plan for me to have the kids. And I understand how things are right now. Jamie looks like the good guy, and I look like the bad guy.
No,
but for 14 years.
Whoa. Hey, no, here, come on, back here. You can't put that on me.
No,
you can't put that on. I'm not saying you're a bad guy.
No,
in fact, I'm saying that people need to have compassion and help you rather than judge you. No court in the land is going to turn children over to a mother who is cutting herself and says, I don't think I'll be here in a year. You have to gain some stability in order to get traction in life and access to your children. You don't want to cut her out of your children's lives, do you?
That's what I want to say. And you guys talk about lack of compassion, and you've known her for 24 minutes. I've been living it for 24 years. You don't know what level of compassion I've had, and I'm exhausted. You guys can judge me all you want. I'm not here for anyone's approval. Dr. Phil, all due respect, not here for your approval. I want you to get help, be healthy for the kids. And I want her to see the kids as much as she possibly can.
But not to be happy on a holiday without you.
I've talked very little on this show.
I'm just telling you.
Let him talk.
I'm just telling you.
Let me talk for once.
Please.
We had a lot of plans. We had a lot of plans. When you cheat and pick up knives, those plans change. So you don't get to go back to that.
When you tell me to go ahead and kill myself.
This is how it is.
Stop.
When you tell me to kill myself or eat something, you wacko.
Well, I have a plan to get some traction. We'll be right back.
I'm Angela, and I quit smoking with Chant.
The Los Angeles area, and you would like free tickets, go to drphil.com and click on Be in the Audience.
Or you can call 323-461-PHIL.
How many times was I told that that order of protection was going to be taken off of me? Oh, I didn't get to the courthouse today in time.
Listen, wait.
And that was pulling the rug out from under me.
He's not here. He's not here. Talk to me. It doesn't matter what he does or doesn't do. Regardless of what he says, you have to take care of yourself. You right now are suffering from a lack of adaptability, a lack of stability that is compromising the quality of your life. This is Miles Adcox right here. Say hello. And he is here from a program called On-Site. And it is an amazing program. It's a multi-level disciplinary program that will work with you in every way you can imagine, mentally, physically, biochemically, every possible way to find out where you are and what you need to do and begin to give you the tools to get there. Miles, I've seen what y'all do. You can help this woman, true?
Absolutely. We're not going to be one of those throwaway programs that we're going to medicate you and push you out to the smoking hut. We're going to show up for you and be in your corner. That's what Dr. Phil's doing by putting us in your way, is show up for you and be in your corner. My guess is that if we unravel this mental illness story, there's a trauma story. You talked about it as a girl. You survived what you shouldn't have. And guess what? You're living out the play that was written then. and it's affecting the way you live, love, and parent.
I'm introducing you to Ariva. I'm introducing you to Miles here, and I'm offering you this help. Will you take it?
Yes.
And will you really give this a chance? I mean, really comply. You're going to find these people unbelievably skilled and compassionate at the same time. Coming up, a woman whose daily chronic pain keeps her from doing simple tasks like opening jars, writing letters, and even shaking people's hands. We'll meet her next. Closed captioning provided. You'll get weekly updates, live strategies, and exclusive video that you won't find anywhere else.
Plus, on drphil.com, you can see sneak previews of upcoming shows. Log on today.
Look, we've all had a crick in our neck or sore muscles at one point in our lives, right? We all do that. But my next guest, Mary, has been living with daily chronic pain for the past several years. She's been managing the pain using over-the-counter medications, but with it gradually getting worse, she wants to find a more effective method of relief.
I feel like a little old lady when I wake up in the morning. I've suffered from chronic pain for at least 10 years. I'm currently taking an over-the-counter pain reliever every day. It hurts me to stand for any length of time or to walk slowly. Shaking hands is very painful for me. Holding onto a pencil, that hurts as well. Pulling weeds, anything where you're bringing your fingers together. Many times I'll wake up in the morning and my back hurts so bad. Getting up out of bed is extremely painful. The pain feels like throbbing in all of my joints. It's a huge detriment at work because I'm required to be on my feet for a long time and I can't stand the pain. I miss out on things such as volunteering and shopping. I always have to take breaks. I'll have to go sit down for a while because my back hurts so bad. In the last few months, I've had pain all over my body. I'm at the point where I'm going to need more than my current pain reliever. I've tried a lot of different pain relief, and I'd really hope that there is something else out there, something new that I can try.
Well, Mary is here along with our good friend and a viewer favorite, Dr. Frida Lewis Hall, Chief Medical Officer of Pfizer. Living with pain is something I can relate to as well. God, I have shoulder pain, elbow pain, knee pain. It's just, oh my God. Dr. Frida, what are some things that can be done to manage this chronic pain? Because it's just all over you, right? You have it in your hands, you get jars, everything.
Very true.
All right, so we'll talk about that. So talk to us.
You've made the very important first point, and that is chronic pain is very common and it's very complex. So there are 100 million Americans who live with chronic pain, 100 million. And it's really important to understand that if you've met one person with chronic pain, you've met one person with chronic pain because it is so complex, it's different from one to the other. So there isn't going to be one solution that fits for everyone. In fact, there isn't really one solution that necessarily works for the same person all the time. So people always ask, well, why is it so complex? There's so many different causes, there are different types of pain. The severity can vary from person to person and within one person, and it can affect your daily activities in a very different way. Sometimes it affects work or sleep or some of the things that you talked about. Right. So the key is to put a treatment plan together that takes all of those characteristics into consideration. So let me start by asking you, if you can describe how your pain has affected you. What does it feel like? How much do you experience pain?
My pain is, I have arthritis in both of the joints of my thumbs, and shaking hands hurts. Holding a pencil for any length of time is painful. And sometimes I'm not doing anything and I can just feel like little stabbing pains in both of my hands. Opening jars, as we talked about, is very painful. Anything like that. I also have back pain. I wake up every morning with back pain.
Are there some days that it's like almost not there and then other days that you can barely get around?
I always feel a little bit of pain every day in the thumb joints. The back pain is not every day, but almost every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some days I feel like, oh my God, I can barely move. Then other days, I feel great. And so those days I overdo it, and then the next day I feel really bad. So it goes up and down. So Mary's talked about taking over-the-counter pain relievers every day. Are you doing any other treatments besides that?
I've had some prescription medications that I've taken as well, and some vitamin supplements. I'm concerned with taking medication every day, especially either over the counter or prescription. I mean, long term, is that bad?
Well, you know, first of all, you are spot on to consider both the risks of taking any medication you may consider as well as the benefits. But, you know, this might be one of the benefits of working with your doctor and a healthcare team really closely on working out a treatment plan for you. Oftentimes that helps with chronic pain. Essentially, this team can get together and help you characterize your pain, can help you think about what your treatment goals are, can take a look at all of the options that are available, both medication and non-medication options, as well as looking at the risks and benefits, which you said you were concerned about in there. And then you set a plan, you monitor the plan, and you change the plan as necessary. Different types of pain respond to certain medications. And so having a treatment team, and doctors are, you know, kind of the best advisors on this, can help you pick the medication that's appropriate to your types of pain. And then you would set a dosage and a period of time that you could really see that medication, if it's working and what, you know, challenges might be, and then change it as necessary. In addition, there are so many non-medication or beyond medication options that you might want to consider. For example, we know that behavioral therapy and relaxation techniques can work, exercise, physical and massage therapy, yoga, acupuncture, that's just mentioning a few.
Do you do things daily that work for you? Like, do you stretch? Do you relax? Do you do some of the things she's talking about that work for you?
I do find that I enjoy working out, and walking is my favorite thing. And walking helps with the back pain significantly. Yeah. That's very helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned diet. I prefer to think of it as nutrition, right? And of course, that's important. Nutrition is very important, so I'm glad that you brought that up too. Maintaining a healthy weight can help make exercise less stressful, and it can also help back down the pain a little bit. So that's also an interesting area that you can talk to your healthcare team about.
Right.
Yeah, and you actually have some tools that people can use for getting with their doctor, meeting with them, and being ready, right?
Absolutely. You know, this can be surprisingly hard to talk about. So if you go to gethealthystayhealthy.com, we have some pain assessment tools as well as discussion guides that might be helpful to get this conversation started with your doctor and the other members of your healthcare team.
I think words are really powerful. And I think if people say, oh my God, it's just killing me, it's this or that. But the pain assessment tool helps you really get this in kind of quantified and qualified as well, so you have a way of measuring it from one time to the next and one day to the next. And that is a great tool on gethealthystayhealthy.com. I want to thank all of my guests today, especially Dr. Frieda Lewis Hall. For more information on today's show, you can visit drphil.com. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Great job.